Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I got my partner in the building, Chris Cabalon, in the house today, man. Definitely, we putting it down, bro. But I wanted to bring him in because I was reading something out of the Theology of Time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then he reads various metaphysics, the code. What some would say magi or magic, and I wanted to basically find that common denominator in the two, because I truly believe that there is commonality in mathematics and universal law. So we on right now, we're discussing space and time and motion, and creating your reality in space and time, meaning that there is room to grow. And a concept that he made is, if I'm understanding him correctly, is the fact that we already perfected or mastered this time, and we moving to another time. Is that right? Or are you saying that we can't perfect this reality?
Yeah, what I've come to understand is that, as far as, for the sake of conversation, let's say the creator concept is a concept of perfection. So when we look at the Bible, let's say under Christianity, we came to understand God as to be perfection. So you have perfection, and once you have mastered perfection, then where do you go from there? So the only way that you could go beyond that particular concept is for that concept to put itself in the appearance of imperfection. The appearance of imperfection. Now, what comes with that is creation. Then we have the whole story of creation. Now, what came with that is the masculine and feminine principles separated, not androgynous, and basically engaging in the concept of choice.
Okay. Now, what the teaching states that the first God that created himself out of a single atom wasn't perfect, but he left things behind, or that the next God could learn from, in an attempt for man to become perfect in time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to. Because before this thing ends, we gonna connect it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where it ends, mm-hmm. And he basically was saying is that, so we are gods on that path to be mastering ourselves or becoming perfect, but we do have an opposition.
My understanding of perfection within time is perfecting, just to keep it simple, perfecting this concept that we're in that we call choice.
Okay.
Perfecting that. So in time, you have a definitive beginning and ending, an alpha and omega within time, and a concept of space and time. You have a definitive, whether we're talking about the mental plane or we're talking about the physical realm, there is a definitive beginning and ending to it. So within that particular concept, I also came to understand this, that we came down here to experience all things. Okay. Now, once we have experienced all things, then that's a job well done. Like O.G. Bobby Hemmett would say, done it all and got the T-shirt. So now that all experiences have been experienced through choice, then I would equate that to perfecting choice. And then once you perfected perfection, or let's say you've mastered perfection, then you master choice, then you have this other concept of an unfathomable realm that goes beyond all conversation, it's beyond perfection, it's beyond choice, it's beyond anything that we could possibly fathom in our minds.
Okay.
That is something to look forward to, because if we can imagine where we're going, then that almost cheapens it.
Okay. Okay, well, then that makes sense. But let me ask you this, and this is coming out of Theology of Time by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he was, and I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying that when the first God created himself out of a single atom of water, when he made that first motion, then time began. But that we've been here so long though that our history has been erased, so there's no time or ending for the black man in America. Now that means then, so if your thoughts travel, then that means then that what are you thinking right now, it goes forth, and the universe would have to use that substance or that dark substance to create in real time the physical, but your thoughts will move forward, and in time the physical would catch up, but your thoughts is preparing a way for your ideas, goals, or what you planning on building, whether it's positive or negative, you will get what you think upon. So that means then that if your thoughts are traveling, then that means that the universe is traveling, and that means that space is expanding to meet the needs, because everything we see came with somebody's thought. And then once you thought it just didn't pop up out the air. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We had to work towards that goal. Mm-hmm. But now think about this though. Now if we in this dispensation in time, right? And then we have our thoughts. As we evolve and as we learn more, will what we think about be more perfect, or will we will we rebuild what's already here and make it better by us evolving?
Okay, here's the thing about that, is that what goes up must come down. Okay. So when you reach the top of the pyramid as a fixed variable, the opposite reality exists within that same concept. So we can build greater pyramids than the pyramids of Giza while we're within the concept of time. But as soon as we do that, based on the science that our ancestors put down, the opposite polarity exists as a fixed variable. So that means that what goes up must come down, meaning that we will have to repeat. Since let's say that just like now, we'll look at the pyramids as a reference to say that we was at a pinnacle at that point, so we're trying to climb back up. But the thing about it is, it's just like the ladder is a symbol for the chakras, is that the chakras are the ladders that go up and down. The Kundalini energy travels up and down. So we're gonna have to repeat this same, like what we're experiencing now, we've experienced it before, just in a different space and time.
Okay.
So if we build pyramids again, we'll just be re-experiencing us reaching a pinnacle just like we had before, and that means that we're going to have to circle back around into another shape, form, or fashion of the same exact reality that we're experiencing right now.
Okay, so that's the flaw. Okay, so you said that the universe is a circle.
Right.
Okay, so then
we could say that,
360 degrees,
right? In terms of being a holistic concept,
right? Holistic concept, 360 degrees, or even oblong is 360 degrees shaped as a circle.
Exactly.
So we coming back around.
Is the same thing.
Okay,
oval, same thing.
It's an oval, yeah. Okay,
same thing.
Now we coming back. So now, okay, so we coming back around in time. So, and you saying even if we built the more perfect pyramid than what we did before, you still have to go back around and build it more perfect. So time is the inevitable, meaning time will keep on. We will keep on evolving as we keep on moving forward in time, and meaning we'll keep on. Meaning, well, everybody knows that we can even go back to the 1700s, 1600s. No, it doesn't look. Today doesn't look anything close to what it looked like back then. And that's due to the thinking of man.
Right.
Now, but at that time, the black man was reduced down to zero.
Okay.
So that means another mindset was producing. So now, as the teacher said, so that one with knowledge came and stood next to that zero and made it a whole number.
Okay.
So now that once had no knowledge has knowledge. So now, what point in time is the one that didn't have knowledge, who has knowledge now, is building upon, and his thought process is what he's projecting out in the universe now, because he's thinking out of a mindset. He is a new man with new knowledge. So what is he building? I mean, you know what I'm saying? A new man with new knowledge, new concepts. So that means when we work out of that field.
Right. So what he's building has already been built because there ain't nothing new under the sun.
Okay. What he's building.
So as fantastic of.
But that, how can that be true though, bro?
Because we won already. We're only an appearance that we're losing, only for us to realize, to wake up that it's time to move beyond. These concepts are great, but it's something even greater than even what we can call great.
Okay, well, how do we move beyond unless we think it into existence, or we create the time to move forward? Meaning, our thought process would have to be like the fishing rod where you cast it out there, then you reel yourself in. So that means that when we reel ourselves in, we should be in a different mindset, a different condensation of time.
Right.
So that means that the new thought then probably haven't been thought yet. Then we don't know what's beyond. Is what I'm saying, because we're not in the same position that we was even back in 6,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago.
Now, when you say
we
beyond,
new beings,
right? Now, when you say beyond, and you say that we don't know what's beyond, what exactly would you define as beyond?
Okay, beyond meaning. Oh, now, and I might not, and I might not be privy to this information, but I do know that where we position at, there's never been a time where the Earth passed Mercury. Well, there's never been a time where that dark space matter pushed planet Nibiru or planet X into our solar system. So if that phenomenon happens, then we would be in a new paradox. So we have to have a new thing, because now we looking at two suns. We dealing with two suns, or we dealing with another planet in our sphere, solar system.
Right.
I mean, that wasn't there, but it's closer now. So that would change our thought process and thinking, right?
Right.
Or would we be the same? We wouldn't be the same old before that happened because of. Okay, but like this, give me an example. Even how the Hurricane Harvey and these natural disasters just hit, we that's alive, our thought process now is really survival. You see more folks, you know what I mean, gallon gas cans generated, thinking, oh man, I got to get this, I got to get that, prior to what you prior did. Are we calling things into existence saying, and by that thought saying, we going to bring in another hurricane, and or those, meaning, I'm talking about, I'm trying to get at the power of thought of man.
Right.
The power of thought.
Right.
Because we creating our own reality.
Right.
And I'm saying certain things that would come into our universe or our lives that would cause us to think beyond the normal of what we've been thinking.
Right.
To produce something different.
Okay, check this out. We can think on the level to where we start flying off the planet.
Okay, come on.
Again, all that is great, but it's still within the illusion. It's still within Maya. Our ancestors, in particular, the Olmecs, already defined this whole physical, the universe, the cosmos is all being illusion, which is just another way of saying that there's something greater than that.
Right.
Even within the spirit realm, even in what we're transitioning to, is still within the concept of space and time. That's why people can see their family members that passed on and be like, oh, my father came to me, or my such and such. Because those two realities, the spirit realm and the physical realm, they're two different concepts, but they touch. They touch. So we get glimpses of our family that transition. They'll come to us in the mental plane. What we call quote-unquote dreams is just us going into the mind or the mental plane.
Okay.
So that right there within itself proves that it's still within the concept of space and time, because we're within the concept of space and time. So how do we experience the mental plane or the spirit realm if it's not within the concept that we're within in the physical realm? So I'm saying that even that both of these concepts, physical realm and spirit realm, are within, let's say within the time concept, there's a beginning and an end, and it's all a part of the illusion, and we've already mastered it, and now we're just experiencing the petering out, what some of the teachers call the residue of it, for the transition to the unfathomable realm, which goes beyond all conversation and anything that we could possibly conjure up in terms of what we may be able to do or what we may have already done, et cetera, et cetera.
So what's greater?
We're going to find out when we get there.
Right, and that's, okay, right. But my point is, do we call the greater into existence, what I'm saying? Or is the greater unknown?
in my understanding, it's unknown until I get there.
Right, but right. And here we go. Okay. It's unknown till we get there. But do we call it? Do we create the atmosphere for it to present itself then by what we going through today?
Yes, by experiencing all things within the concept of choice, also known as creation.
Right. Okay. Right. So we there. Okay, we there. All right. We there. Okay, we there. So then that means then that then what desire what so can we say that living up under white supremacy or oppression and what's going on today with the NFL, Trump and whatnot produced a situation for us to think in a different plane to bring the greater into existence?
It's already here.
Okay.
It's already here. Like a lot of those certain things that are going on are just really mundane. Their relevance depends on the person that you asking. If a person is asking me, I'm saying that, mentally I've already moved on from
to the greater.
I just do handle the mundane human things because it's just innately built into us as men. We gonna handle, we gonna protect, we gonna fight when we need to, we gonna provide, we gonna hunt, we gonna bring back. That's just natural. That's just human. Right. That's just a human thing for stand up men, brothers. But in terms of spiritually, like I've already moved on from the physical realm
to the greater, or headed towards the greater.
Right. My mind's I'm already training for the spirit realm to even so that way if I'm training now. When I get there, I already be ahead of the game. It's just like when you training in high school football. You training so when you get to college, or when you in college, you training to get to the NFL. So when you get there, you're already a step ahead. You're not just gonna, say, well, I ain't gonna practice and I'm just gonna jump in there. But then you got to catch up to the people who already may have trained and may already be proficient in certain maneuvering skills and certain techniques that did. So that's what I'm doing here.
So wait, I just want to, for the listening audience, I just want y'all to know that we not that we coined this, but you heard it first right here on Verbal Pick Radio. Getting to the greater. That's the terminology or the phrase to strive for, and you heard it right here in time, which you will hear more. The greater,
right,
and that encompasses the greater good, just the greater of being greater understanding, the greater of yourself as an individual, or the greater of a group as a whole. But getting to the greater is the goal, and mastering the mundane. So that means we should have mastered what we call mundane. This why are we still wrestling with racism then? Why are we still wrestling with, when you're trying to get to the greater, you move beyond that?
Right. The ultimate goal, or let's just say the first and foremost goal, should be mastering self, evolving within self. Because eventually, at some particular time, one's physical existence is gonna peter out, and we're not gonna no longer be in a physical shell, and we're gonna have to transition. So it's on, like I said, on a human level, we should all be handling our business on a human level. On a so in terms of wrestling these foreign entities, to me, like, that energy is best served in cultivating from the core and expanding outwardly. So that starts from the home, the temple, and the family, and expanding to family and loved ones from there. And to me, that's, like we talked about before, is the most powerful move that a person can make for a change in their reality and how they see it.
Okay. Because the hardest thing I found, and I'm talking to a lot of people, is to get out from under an old way of thinking and adapting and adopting to a new way of greater thinking or beneficial thinking, because the praise of what they would quote unquote call negative thinking would get a lot of praise, meaning to accept new knowledge that would help build them or help them master themselves. Even some would say call it knowledge, some would say rituals. You know what I mean? If you read this book of knowledge, Or someone say if you read this book of spell, if you read this book of knowledge, it would help to enhance you as an individual. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Well, how do you not advertise, but let me ask you this: or does it comes to them? Okay. Do it come to them, or is it something you seek? Or when you ready, will the universe let you know you're ready to move on to another higher plane of existence or another level of study?
And are you talking about in terms of a transition? You're talking about in terms of studying in the physical realm?
And studying in the physical realm, meaning to study because the books are physical.
Right. And in terms of levels of study.
Levels of study to get a person to understand, read the book. Or to get out of a world that says, because the enemy says don't read the book, we say read the book.
I say read the highest level of sciences that you can get your hands on. If you get a book called Astrodynamics by Robert Bruce, that shit read like calculus. Get into that book. Mm-hmm. That's that, and probably the Kabbalion is probably the two most powerful and most important books I have in my collection.
Okay, and let me give us Theology of Time by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I got you.
Already.
It's powerful. Those and anything that Brother Chris say, read. Trust me, it's beneficial. Knowledge is in it. Go get it. Verbal Peak Radio. We out. Thank you for your time, and we out.
Yeah.